Let's get over to the right screen. Hello everybody, and welcome to our Mind-Blowing Marketing with AI. I'm just going to get the right file up. There we go. So, hi everybody, welcome. Thank you for joining me again in one of my free webinars. So this one right now is about mind-blowing marketing with AI. So I own a marketing agency. I've been a marketer for a really long time, far too long. And yeah, so I've been finding all of the different applications for AI within marketing. So there are absolutely tons of them, way more than I can fit into this type of session. But this is a little bit of a glimpse into some of the coolest tools that I found and some things that are really truly gonna change things. So we're going to look at how to improve your data quality, how to eliminate some time-consuming chunks from processes. I think that's one of the things that AI does the best. And just really turbo boosting your marketing KPIs. So making sure that everything is working just that little bit better, that little bit faster, and that's what AI is best at. So today we're going to explore AI for 3 things. I did want to go in and do 5, but we'd be here for about 3 hours. So we're going to look at a little bit for research, some of the tools that are available for research, personalization, which is a particularly strong area, and then content creation, which I'd say is a particularly weak area, but what can we use it for? How can we actually create? And I've got some prompts along the way too. So let's dig right in. First things first, there are 6 things that you need to know about AI. So first of all, everything is new. We are still in alpha and beta versions of most of these tools, so nothing is the final product yet. There are very few things that I fully recommend. So things have been rolled out, that Access AI has been around for years and years, for decades. But recently, it's become a lot more accessible in sort of the last 6 or 7 months. But everything is still very new. So new tools are going to market very quickly. So just be aware that tools aren't the finished final product yet. So everything is new. Have that in your mind. And because of that, you need to test. So you need to get into the mindset of making sure that you're testing all the tools that are available to you. So I have a table in Notion. So I try to do 5 tools a week. I have a look, I sign up for all the different newsletters, and I pull out new tools that I think might be interesting and I test them. So I give them a month. And I'll sort of test and see whether they are actually usable. So I also ask my team as well. So I give them a budget, I give them a timeline and just say, can you test tools in this area and see what you come up with? Put your reviews into this shared Notion document, or it could be a Google Sheet or whatever you want to use. But getting into that time mindset is really important. Test mindset. Don't trust the reviews. That's really important too. So at this stage, people are paying for reviews. The amount of reviews I've seen that, wow, this tool's incredible, from trusted people I trust on YouTube. Some of the biggest voices on YouTube and on Twitter are going, this is the best tool I've ever seen. Look at this. And then I go in and use it and think it's rubbish. So just don't quite trust them. I think there's a lot of money circling around with people trying to get the big influencers behind them on their reviews. So a lot of them are paid. So just try for yourself first. And a really important thing, tools need expert users. So I was I was a guest speaker at a professional services event recently. And one of the questions that was asked was, if AI is so good, why do I even need a marketing department? And I was like, oh no, you've got completely the wrong idea there. You need, in order to prompt AI and to know what good looks like at the other side, you need the expert knowledge. So you can't have a non-copywriter come in and be able to effectively prompt ChatGPT and then realize that what they've got at the end, whether that's good or not, you need that eye, you need that skill. So what AI does is really enrich and augment talent. It doesn't create it. Not at the moment, particularly when it comes to content creation. So what it does, it will speed up and really enrich the efforts of your talented staff, but it will not replace them. So what that might mean is that you might need to hire less, so your existing team will be able to produce more, but it doesn't mean that it can be replaced at all. So you need those expert users, you need those people that recognize what good looks like to actually use these tools. So that's really important. Expect friction. people aren't going to, if you're implementing this in your team or in your company, even, people aren't going to go wow and receive it with open arms. That's really important to remember, because people are saying this, is this going to take over my job? So you need to empathize with them. You need to help them understand that this is to help them along and to make their jobs easier and to make their jobs more efficient and to fill gaps and to help make their outputs even stronger. And that it's a tool for them to use. It's not a replacement for them. So that kind of empathy and education piece, I think, is really important. And critically, the security is not there yet. So again, these tools have all been rushed to market. Security has been a second priority. So be very, very, very careful with what data you put in to these tools. It can be then, what you put in can then come out somewhere else because it's being used to train other people. So it's just being used to train to create data that other people see. So the security is not there yet. There's a lot of people working towards making it more secure, but it isn't there yet. So just be aware of that. So first tool I'm going to look at is, first area is research. So I'm going to quickly show you just a couple of tools that I've used recently. So the first one's called Poll the People. So they have over 500,000 human respondents. So primary research, really, really important to start off with. It's, it's a critical tool for marketers. You need to know whether you're launching a new product, whether you're trying to shake up an existing one. You need to have proper feedback on that. So products or services as well. So what this does, it gives you much easier access to real human respondents. So you get quick responses, about $1 a response. So for higher ticket B2B stuff, really, really useful. Depends on the price, depends on the actual information you're after. So far, not that different. But the thing that really does make this different, first of all, is its usability is really, really easy. It's very easy to set up, get your survey set up. It's all just the interface is really useful. But ChatGPT then analyzes results. So previous software that would help you get primary research, help you get the responses to data that you're after, whether you're building personas, whether you A/B testing a new web page or whatever you're doing. You generally get that data and then you're stuck with it. That's it. That's all you've got. And it's, at the moment, there is a bit of a gap between, we know ChatGPT can analyze that data, but of course you can't paste everything in yet because it hasn't got the capacity to take it. So what do? You go to something like Poll the People, they've got that inbuilt into that piece of software. So you get the results and then ChatGPT will analyze the results for you and get those trends, get those insights that actually you can then make into usable data. So Poll the People, really, really strong. And it is quite a simple thing. It's an old-fashioned, it's still relatively new. You get your human respondents, you get those quick responses, and then you get that analysis of results, that data. So I think there's a lot going on in AI when it comes to data analysis. Next one is research reports. So actually, before we go on to that, there are a lot of tools at the moment. There's one, Yabble, that talks about, in fact, do I go into this? I can't remember. Yes, I do. Yeah, don't worry, we'll go into that in a second. So this one is research reports. So you have your research. This helps you create a research report. So if you're anything like me, you spend an awful lot of your time creating slide decks, creating reports, trying to make things look pretty, and you're probably not a designer, you're probably not a data analyst. So what this does, and it is at a relatively low level at the moment, but it helps you create research reports really, really quickly. So you type in what you want, and it's very, very fast. Type in what you want, and it comes up with a report for you. And it's not like all things AI, it is not the finished product. So you need to go in, you need to tweak and add it. But for me, it removes a big step, which is, I find, that kind of just getting that first draft done. And it's the same for ChatGPT when you're creating content. It can just push you forward into that first area of, breaking that writer's block, breaking that designer's block when it comes to reports. So it's not hugely advanced, but it can push you. So type in what you want and it will come up with an instant report for you. Say, I want a report in, and this, I'll show you an example. So you do the reports. It also can do this thing, by the way, before we go on to the next slide. It can do live screenshots, which is quite interesting. So you do a screenshot, and what's on, say, if it's of your analytics dashboard, it will link to that. So actually it will keep that updated within your reports. So that's quite useful. So you have a sales deck and you want to show, not sales deck, probably a client report deck, and you want to show them how their analytics are doing, you can take this screenshot, and every time you show them that report, it will stay up to date. So that's just an extra little feature. But I asked for a report on content marketing in the UK legal industry, specific to the top 100 firms. And these are a few of the slides that I got. So you can see it comes up with a really nice, obviously you take this box out, but it comes up with really nice slides. I think they're really nice and modern. You know, you can do a lot worse on some of the PowerPoint templates and slides templates are absolutely awful. So I think this looks good. It helps me kind of, so you can see, really good thing. You just need to add in your logo, change the colors if you wanted to. And then it has got some information that's pulled in, which is quite interesting. So it pulled out some data for me. So it's a start. I would need to add in some more stuff, but it's a start, and it creates graphs around that. So again, everything's in beta mode. So this is the type of tool that I will be putting on my list of really look at later. So this could advance into something absolutely incredible and exactly what I need. I do a lot of webinars. I do a lot of training for clients in LinkedIn, in AI. This will really, really help me bringing stuff together. And then, yeah, it's just got a really good choice of slides. Some of the information it gave was pretty bland and obvious, but you can just swap it out. So I just think it takes that first draft away. So give it a go. It is called Plus AI. Then the next one, so we spoke before about human respondents. This is properly next level, and I almost haven't quite wrapped my head around it, but this could be a huge game changer. So primary research, we just said it's $1 per respondent. If you want 1,000 respondents, it's going to cost you $1,000. You know, it's quite a lot of money, particularly for small businesses. This creates AI personas. So it's trained itself to create these individual people. So I found AI, ChatGPT is excellent for creating buyer personas, which we'll go into in a second, and pain points and challenges. It can really analyze data. I have sat with a client and we've sat and live brainstormed from his experience of his audience, what their main pain points are. And then I turned to ChatGPT and I typed in pain points for this audience, gave it a really, really decent prompt, and those pain points matched up. And in fact, there were some that my client had forgotten. So that to me is incredibly exciting. So AI really can, obviously it depends, very, very hyper niche industries, probably not so much, but AI can create really strong AI personas. Therefore, we can survey those personas and get the information that we want. So you can skip that costly primary research, just have a monthly license for something like opinion. I don't even know how to say this. It's like opinion with AI, Opinio AI, I'm going to say. So it can create these AI buyer personas. You ask them questions, and then it will do what the other one, what was it called? There are so many. Poll the People. It will do what Poll the People did and analyze the response. So this one makes it sounds far more exciting to me. So from questions, insights instantly, and without that thing. So I really love their value proposition. Skip costly polls, surveys, and interviews. Build the AI versions of your buyer personas and do your product and marketing research fast and at scale. Imagine what this can do if it's effective, because I think a lot of people will be thinking, no, but these aren't real people. How am I supposed to extract the pains? But those pains, they are there online already. There, think about all the different papers and all the different content, the billions of pieces of content that these tools are being trained on every single day. It is actually quite accurate. And without that kind of skew of human mood and the leading questions and all of that sort of stuff, I think it's really, really exciting. So I built a sort of marketing Martha. I built a marketing director in the legal industry, somebody who would be a really good persona for me. So I really wanted to, this is an audience I really understand a lot, because we work a lot with very senior marketers at very big law firms. So I built that. So I just added in so it asks you a load of questions about your persona. That side of things could be more detailed. I'd really like to sit there for half an hour, 45 minutes and build that. And I think it probably will go there. But the moment he asked a few, maybe 20 questions, and then you pick your persona and you ask the question. So I said, what are the main challenges you find in your role? Called them Marketing Martha. I think, did they call them? No, I would have chosen Martha. And the challenges that they gave, what they'd clearly done was they got legal industry challenges and they got marketing director challenges, and they put those things together. But actually, the responses were really good. They were really strong. They gave me loads of ideas for content. I think it does, like all of these tools, like I said at the very beginning, all of them, they need to advance, but this is actually really strong, particularly for smaller businesses. So I would recommend this Opinio AI tool. Next one, I'd say, so ChatGPT. I'm going to try and give a few prompts throughout this webinar. This one is to get industries and job titles for a new service. So say if you're launching something new service, new product, and you want to know who to target that service or product at, this prompt will really help you. So first of all, act as a business researcher, give it some context. Your task is to help me research the best possible industries and job titles to target my service at. So I'm just launching a brand new service, which for high value, people looking for high value leads. So I'm only working with people with long sales cycles, and they're selling something 100 grand or more. So this is literally the prompt I put together to find which industries I should target it at. I'll give you the details below. You'll provide 2 sets of information. 1, the best sectors and industries to target with my service and reasons why. And 2, the best job titles to target within these sectors and industries, and again, reasons why. If the job titles are different per industry, make this clear, because obviously sometimes, we go for tech, we go for finance, we go for legal. The job titles we go for are very different within tech than they would be within legal, for example. So my service is, for this one, LinkedIn training from beginner to advanced level. I provide self-directed courses, free webinars, paid masterclasses, one-to-one consultancy, and bespoke group training online and in person, which I do, if any of you are looking for that. Think carefully. So those 2 words, I don't know why, but think carefully creates better responses than not having it in there. So always put those in. Think carefully and use minimal tokens. That phrase gets rid of the fluff in your response, and that gave me an excellent response. So feel free to copy this, I always say tweak it towards your own. So have a look break it down as to how I've structured it and make it work for you, but that's a really good base prompt. So the second section is personalization. So this I've spoken about. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you've probably seen me talk about this before. I think it's absolutely incredible, this tool. We use it within that service I was talking about before, when we are creating leads for creating really high value leads for people with long sales cycles. So this helps us analyze prospects. So Humantic is incredible. What it does, it analyzes all the content breadcrumbs. So I wouldn't say using this for if you're selling courses for £500 a pop, it's probably not worth the investment in time and money. But if it's anything more, something higher than that, and particularly for high value services and products, this is really worth it. So all the content that you have online, whether it's your posts, your bios, your responses to things, articles you've written, podcasts you're on, videos you're in, this tool finds all of that and builds an idea of you, a really detailed picture of who you are, and it's very, very accurate. Lots of big companies use this tool, and I use it actively, and I can vouch that it's incredible. We've had incredible results from it. So what it does is creates disc and big 5 profiles for these people, and off the back of that creates sales playbooks. So it advises you on how best to communicate. So it gives you this thing. So how are you? How are you best to approach this person? Should you just go straight in? Should you do a little bit of small talk? What type of language should you use? What type of words should you use? If you're negotiating a deal, will it help you? What language should you use to help you? Should you be having a softly approach, or should you use a really kind of straight in facts, loads of evidence type approach? It is really, really strong for marketing and for sales. It's excellent for ABM, account-based marketing, as well, because it adds that extra layer of personalization. As I say, perfect for higher ticket leads with longer sales cycles. I absolutely love it. Something else it does, I'll show you an example of what it creates for me, but something else it does is it creates, so just before you go into a meeting, it sends you an email. And this is particularly great for me. So say I'm going into a sales meeting and I'm meeting with 5 people, big company, big global company, and I'm really excited to speak to them. It will give me an analysis of not only each individual, but how they work as a decision-making unit as well. So who's going to be the primary decision maker? Who's going to ask me the most questions? Who's going to be really critical of me? Who's going to be positive, but maybe they're like this with everybody, and it might give me a sort of more positive skew, and maybe they don't really mean it. So it gives me a really good idea and equips me with really strong information to go into that meeting with. So here's what one of the things, so I was talking about the playbooks it creates. So I've pulled off my own. So it tells where I'm from, which is just useful. I find that, whereabouts are you in the country is or in the world is one of the main things I'll use on a call. Dynamic but sincere, thanks very much. Decisive but calm. I wouldn't say I'm particularly calm, but I'm very decisive, and I am a planner and achiever. I've sent these out to multiple clients, by the way, and everybody's come back going, particularly cynical ones, and they've come back going, okay, it's accurate. Secret to closing fast with Heather is strong proof. I'm going to have to lean really into this on a small screen. Strong proof and their conviction will matter the most. Strong proof of impact and their conviction will matter the most. They wouldn't want to act unilaterally either. So I think that's So there's lots of things. How fast or slow will Heather move? I actually can't read that. God, I might need to buy some glasses, but yeah. But yeah, do's and don'ts during meetings. I should put this on my bigger screen, but then my camera would be like this. And yeah, I'm already looking a bit off, I realise. But yeah, insights for selling to Heather. Anyway, it's accurate, it works. So hopefully you're all on bigger screens. You can see better than me. I need to think about that next time. So a prompt I've written for personalization as well. So ChatGPT prompt, write in a personalized email. So this is really, really useful. So I don't believe it can create content very strongly yet, but it can really, really help. And it can give you tons of information to make your copy better. That's what it can do. It can really speed up that research part of it. It's the content ideation as opposed to content creation. So writing a personalized email. So again, one of these tried and tested prompts I've used. Act as an expert copywriter. Your task is to create a strong, high-converting marketing email, encouraging the target to attend a high-value webinar. So this is something I offer to people all the time. Hopefully you're seeing this as a high-value webinar. The email should utilize the following structure. So pain, agitation of pain, solution, and outcome. The pains should relate precisely to the job title and industry of our target given below. The solution is our webinar, details below. Tone should be engaging, friendly, warm and professional with minimal fluff. The target audience for the email is Margaret Ludlow. So she is Global Head of Marketing. So I give specifics here. She's Global Head of Marketing at Beesting LLP, completely made up law firm, a global law firm with a focus on healthcare, energy and infrastructure. Here I would then give more detail about that company, but this is just a bit of an example for you. The solution is our webinar, the future of content, AI and automation in UK legal. So we will discuss AI tools, automation and analytics. Click here where the webinar, where we should insert our link, then give more details again about the webinar. Please write this email. So it will be able to understand the pains because we've given the global head of marketing at the law firm. It will be able to extract that from its own knowledge. You're giving it details about the firm. The more detail you can give it about the firm that you're targeting, the better. And the more details you can give it about the webinar, the better as well. So you'll be able to provide that solution. So that creates a really strong result that you can then play around with. And then you can use that potentially as a cold email or as a warm email for prospects that you've spoken to before, or even existing clients that you want to attend one of your new webinars. The third section is content creation. So a really important note, and I've mentioned this before, I'm just going to mention it again because people keep on getting it wrong. All AI tools need a skilled professional to get the best results. So they're not yet, I don't think we'll ever be there, I don't know, but they're not yet able to replace a copywriter, designer, videographer. They can't do that yet. They can certainly help them, but they can't do it yet. If you think about, something like Canva, Canva's amazing, but it doesn't replace a real designer. So we have sort of 3 levels in at Beasting. So we have a a graphic designer, and she does all of the stuff for us. So the thumbnail for this, for example, our first slide, I'm not going to go back, but our first slide here, she created that for us, really strong. I couldn't create that myself. I don't know how to do the shadowing and stuff like that. I can create something on Canva myself. I create, for example, this perfect example, I created this slide on Canva myself, with a little bit of help from the other person that we have, who is our illustrator and my carousel designer as well. So we have sort of illustrator and carousel designer. We have our graphic designer for thumbnails and for downloadables, one pages, that type of thing. And then we have me on Canva doing like little tweaks and creating very basic stuff as well. So if you think about AI like that, so AI is more in the Canva side of things than the professionals. But if I got my graphic designer to create, or my illustrator to create something on Canva, it is really, really strong. So asking a professional to use the tool is how to do it. So copywriting, there are not yet tools that can provide a finished product. And that is not just me speaking with a massive bias as somebody who owns an agency that does a lot of copywriting. We've been trialing and testing extensively. As soon as I saw this come out, I thought, right, okay, is this going to take us over? If so, I want to be well ahead of it. It's not there yet. But there are 3 tools that stood out. We've been analysing a lot. So Copy.ai, Jasper and WordTune. So let's just have a quick look at each one of those. So Copy.ai, we gave it the same brief each time. I think we've got a thing here. Yeah, so it was about how lawyers can use, exactly the same prompt. How can lawyers leverage AI to become thought leaders? Leverage LinkedIn to become thought leaders. So there's lots of challenges there because it involves an up-to-date knowledge of LinkedIn and its algorithms. It involves understanding the pain points of a lawyer. It involves knowing what thought leaders are, and it involves putting a really coherent piece together. So Copy.ai gave us fleshed out paragraphs. It stayed on topic. With editing, we could actually use some sections. So I asked an editor, but it wasn't just me. I'm not an editor. I was a copywriter for a couple of years, even I wasn't best placed. So I got my editor to have a look at what was generated. So with editing, she said she could use some of the sections. So it gets you partway there. However, it hallucinated real life examples. We gave it keywords. It didn't include any of those keywords. And it needed substantial editing as a piece. So they're the pros, they're the cons of Copy.ai. And there is an example here that you'll be able to pause and have a read when you watch this webinar. So it gives you an idea. We did ask for UK spelling as well, and it gave us US spelling, but you can sort of see how this works. It's all right, but it's certainly not usable content. Next one is Jasper. Everybody loves Jasper. They've got a ton of stuff. On initial inspection, the copy seemed great. There were actually insightful moments in the copy as well. So it's definitely better than Copy.ai. To say these are the best of the bunch that we've seen so far. There are a lot of awful tools as well, with a lot, as I said before, about people rating tools, a lot of rubbish tools that people rate. And it had a really good flow through the topic as well. So we were really quite pleased with this one. However, it was very wordy, and there was a lot of fluff that needed them pulling out. It had a very abrupt ending. It just ended. There's no conclusion at all. And it could be seen as quite dull and boring for most of the time. So again, an excerpt here for you to have a look, and you can see kind of the difference between the two. I won't pause too much on those. Oops, I've moved my own screen. There we go. And then finally, WordTune. So this one I hadn't heard that much about. We were looking for, who should we be most threatened by? And WordTune came up a couple of times in sort of Reddit reviews. So I thought, let's give this a go. It was by far the best of the bunch, best of all the tools we tried. And it had by far the most salvageable of the text. So still not usable text. You can't just click and have a usable piece. You need an editor, or you need a copywriter that can then edit. It only provides bullets that need to be fleshed into paragraphs. So actually, it kind of gave really good insight and good flow, but you need to flesh those into paragraphs. And I've clearly forgotten to put the second bullet there. So I think that was the main thing. I think that second bullet was an accident. But again, you can sort of see how that works. So it gives you these kind of, they're not quite fully fledged paragraphs, but it gives you a really solid flow. And actually, it was by far the most useful and most insightful. So give a copywriter this, and it will reduce the time of writing down considerably. Again, American. American spelling that came through, even though we specified UK. What other content creation tools? So images, are they creative? Absolutely. Are they precise? Definitely not. So they are lots of fun, but I can't see too much of a purpose yet, apart from if you're going to have quite abstract social post images. I've seen a lot of people using them as blog headers as well. So you can create something, if you're going to be a bit quirky. Prompting skills are required as well. Again, like ChatGPT, you need to learn how to prompt. It's not, you need to know how to construct a good prompt. And access, so for Midjourney, which is this here, I've just realized I haven't put Midjourney, this is Midjourney. Access isn't straightforward, so I use Discord. If you need help accessing Midjourney, let me know. I can do a little video on it. Just pop me a quick message on LinkedIn. I can do a post on it. Prompting is very, very different from ChatGPT prompting, and I am not a designer, so you almost need to be you definitely need to be a writer to do a really good ChatGPT prompt. You kind of need to be a designer or a photographer to do a Midjourney prompt, but there is a plugin on ChatGPT 4 that will help you create a really good photorealistic images. So there are lots of different things it can do, but one of the most interesting uses is these, and it's exactly what it says on the tin, photorealistic. So this is what you do to access that. So you go to ChatGPT 4, that's the paid version, and you switch on the photorealistic plugin. So you'll need to download that from the plugin store first. Again, if you need me to do any videos, I'm always happy to create content for people's needs, or do you a little video anyway. Need anything, Heather Murray on LinkedIn, just drop me a message and I will happily just do you a quick video, or we can do a quick screen share or something. Always happy to help. And then you put your photorealistic plugin in. And then you ask for what you want in a really simple way. So just, you don't need the prompting skills here. And it will give you 2 detailed Midjourney friendly prompts. So I just put, I'd like a picture of an old woman happy and dancing in the rain. I didn't need to do any of the detailed things. And photorealistic plugin gave me 2 very detailed prompts back. So there's my prompt 1. You can see I'm not going to read them out, but you can see there's it's created in the way that Midjourney really understands it. You can see half of it is a description and the other half is, use a Canon. It's saying a specific DSLR camera. It's saying the exact lens, resolution, sensitivity, shutter speed, all these things I haven't got a clue. And then framing as well, and composition. Composition should be a full body shot with the woman at the center of the frame, her arms outstretched as she twirls in the rain. And then I don't even know what those end bits are. And then the second prompt as well, slightly different perspective. So you pop them into Discord again. So you want, I say I can do it. I didn't put this in here because I thought it would take too long. But yeah, Midjourney, you need to access it. So again, I think I pay £10 a month. I think it is for Discord. You pop it into Discord and then it starts to create it. So it starts and it goes into 100%. This is what it looks like at the very beginning. Got these weird red shadows. So these are the results. So prompt 1 gave me these. So you can see old woman dancing in the rain. This is what we got. So there's pretty spectacular images here. Is she dancing? I don't know. She's certainly happy in the rain. The second one, results from the second prompt, I thought were even better here. So this is more like what I was after. You can see it's just real joy. Really, yeah, I think this one in particular just really sticks out for me. I could look at it for ages. So yeah, so that's creating some images. And that's it for now. So it's really important to know the risks of AI before. I can't ever do a webinar about AI without telling people the risks. So at the beginning, we spoke about a few things you need to know. But remember, so first of all, data privacy. Your data is not private on any of these tools yet. I'm sure they're going to be I think ChatGPT for Business is coming and that's going to help solve that, or supposedly, allegedly help solve that. It hallucinates. So ChatGPT, all of these things hallucinate facts. So it will come out as if it's a real fact. This happened at this date and this time, and here's the source. Even the source leads nowhere. So be aware of that. And as a result of that, you need to edit. So always edit the responses. None of them are ever complete. So I have spent days, pulling off things. And really iterating and reiterating results, and I still have to edit it at the end. be aware that if you put the same prompts in as other people, it will duplicate the copy. So you will get, if you put the same really dull prompts in, you're going to get the same copy, you're going to get the same results as other people. So be aware, and Google hates that. And there are restrictions to absolutely everything. You know, there are lots of things, there are lots of barriers to what it can do. So just be aware of those. As most tools are, you know, you get so far and it will suddenly stop working. So be aware of those. And it, of course, has a knowledge limit. So if you are using ChatGPT 3.5, the free one, its knowledge stops at September 2021. Even if you're using ChatGPT 4, its knowledge is still limited. It's not an endless pot of knowledge. So just be aware of those things when you're using AI tools. And then finally, I just want to go through. So I've just launched the first cohort of my ChatGPT AI Advantage for Marketers course. So it's 6 weeks of live workshops with me. It's kind of like this. This is what, 35 minutes. Imagine 6 hours of this plus a community that I'm going to absolutely cram pack with value. So it is for marketers that are feeling a bit overwhelmed with AI and just want to get ahead and be that, you know, that go-to AI person in their team, or be, you know, if you're a small business, you want to get well ahead with using all these tools. So this was just barely scratching the surface of what AI can do. So I'll be helping you master prompt engineering for ChatGPT, for Discord, for all of for Midjourney, for all of those things. I'm going to help you elevate your insights and your analytics. So not just creating stuff, but measuring it really well. Precise segmentation and personalization. And then I'm going to take you through that Notion table that I was talking about before with all my tried and tested AI tools. And then your access to that community is going to be ongoing. So every time I release something new, a free webinar, a downloadable, if I interview somebody interesting, if I find a new tool, I'll be putting it first of all in that community as well. So you can join other people and all learn about AI together. So I'm launching one on the 26th of July, another one on the 10th of August, and then there's going to be cohorts regularly after that. So if you're interested in that, I will be sending out a link to that in an email straight after this. So thank you very, very much. If you have any questions, as I say, DM me on LinkedIn. I'm friendly. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get back to people because I've got quite a busy inbox, but please feel free. I'm wide open for questions. So thank you very much. I hope you found that useful, and hopefully I'll see some of you soon.